Introducing Instagram teen accounts, a new way to keep your teen safer as they grow, like making sure they always have their seatbelt on.
All right, buckle up. Good job.
New Instagram teen accounts, automatic protections for who can contact your teen and the content they can see.
Hey guys, and welcome to Criminality, the podcast we started because we know reality TV is great and it's trash, but it's actually not a crime, even though most of these fools should be criminal. Rebekah, how are you?
Hey, Melissa, I am good. And I was thinking, the podcast we started, we tell stories about crimes and reality TV. And somehow here we are, second week in a row, just talking about people in a polyamorous marriage.
Polycule is my new favorite word. It's such a, that is a fun word. I could almost join just to be in a polycule. That just sounds fun.
Super fun word. And I love how mainstream it's getting, because I was on the subway the other day and Verizon has ads on the train for a new plan, and they're not calling it a family plan anymore. It said perfect for your polycule. It was like
Really?
4 separate lines. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I guess Verizon knows what's up in New York City. I mean, if it's happening in this small town on a TLC show.
So, Rebekah, we decided to just watch this show again. We love to hate these people.
I think it's also becoming a show we hate to love. I feel like we landed in a place last week where we're like, I'm pretty sure I like the show. And I thought this episode was great.
It was so good.
Jam-packed.
It can only go up. And by that, of course, I mean way down.
Because things are about to get really bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
So, Rebekah, do you want to get into it?
Yeah, I think you took the first half this week, so I will.
Thank goodness, because otherwise we would have both done the same half to recap, and that was just drama. So this is episode 2 of PolyFamily on TLC. This episode is called Polly Wants a Baby, and I can't wait to see how far they're going to make that, this work in all their titles. So
it could work for all of them if
they try hard enough. So we're starting out with everyone in the hospital. If you remember last time, we have the married couples are Taya and Sean, and Alicia and Tyler. And then Alicia and Sean
I
are
always
dating.
Want to do the reverse.
Because they make more sense.
I know. When you said it, I'm like, no.
Wrong.
But you're
and
right.
Tyler and Taya are dating. So all 4 of them are in the hospital because Taya is going to have a baby.
Yep.
Baby Q, which just reminds me of QAnon. And so
of
every
course.
time they say Baby Q, I'm like, I don't know, guys.
Let's just stick with Clinton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a super fun name, by the way, I think.
It is. It really is. And so they're all 4 adults. It's 11 a.m. we see, and Tyler must be the one with the camera, or Alicia. Taya is 2 centimeters dilated. Those were the days.
Oof, I know.
This all feels very long. She says her grandparents are watching all the other kids, which I still think, what progressive grandparents to be like, I'll watch yours and the rest of your cules.
I know, but we'll get to all the family reactions later.
Gosh, yeah. So Taya's worried, and this happens in Sister Wives all the time, that maybe the hospital staff will be, worried about this dynamic and not want to let everyone participate in the birth. But of course, they don't care, and that's totally fine.
Right.
And so now Sean is filling out paperwork, and he's asking, the ladies, do you want the eye stuff on the baby? He's the one filling out the paperwork, which right there, I'm like, I thought we were playing the game of we don't know who the daddy is, but you're writing it all down, sir.
Interesting.
I didn't trust him writing anything down. I thought he could be creating a will. He could anything. I just don't trust that man with a pen.
Yeah, he's not the guy in charge of operations, if I remember from last week.
Ugh, yeah, pens and razors. He should have neither. So, of course, we hear again, they don't want to know the paternity of baby Q because at this point they feel like it does more harm than good to know. Rebekah, my question is, we all know the maternity of these babies, so why does it matter if they know the paternity? Why is that a big deal, but maternity isn't?
That's such a great question. I had not even, that's so simple and obvious. And yes, great point.
Simple.
No, you're actually smart because I missed it. But yeah, we know who the mom is. But I guess when you only know one, it will remove any, this is our kid.
Right.
But,
that's true.
And maybe that's because they already have that with the pre-existing children. And so they know that can get a little dicey, as we saw previous episode with Raina. So maybe they're trying to avoid that dynamic of well, this is our kid.
Right.
So it's just like, well, we know the mom because we know the mom, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, it just seems like
yeah, it seems
you're halfway
arbitrary.
there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And so they're saying that it doesn't even really make sense for them to learn it. Their bubble's going to be burst very soon in this episode. Rebekah, one thing I remember about being in labor, being in the hospital, is not wanting 50 million people all around me. But this girl, Taya, is walking around the hospital. All 4 of them are walking in a little cule.
I know, as few people as possible. And even right after, I was like, one at a time.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed.
Don't even breathe on me. Like,
I know.
Don't breathe near me. But the last thing I want is a whole supportive group that...
Do you want to hear the most crazy thing, unhinged thing a grandparent can do in a hospital room? So I'd had my first child. I am a mere 20 years old. And my baby daddy, no, I'm just kidding. My husband at the time's father comes in. He is a scientist, a chemist. He takes my newborn child, swaddled, hours old, flicks a lighter on, puts it very near their face.
What?
And moves it back and forth to see if my newborn has like a good, I don't know, attention span or something. It's like doing experiments that included lighters, which I feel like shouldn't have even been allowed in the hospital. And I'm like, no lighters, like things I didn't expect to say today, but could we not put flames near my infant?
It's like a Bunsen burner.
He puts a lab coat on. It was a lot. So yeah, I like to keep the activity down to a minimum from there. I learned early on, like, no science experiments, please, not until the child is older.
Enough to crawl, at least. Unreal. So anyway, they're all walking around the hospital. So now Alicia says that Tyler and Sean, they're going to put aside their issues. Because if you remember last time, Sean and Tyler got into it a little over Raina, and Sean overstepping his bounds in regards to
her grounding.
Grounding her, not letting her see her dad. That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Now we see that it's 8:30 p.m., so she's already had a long day, 10 and a half hours. She's on the yoga ball. I never did that in labor. Like, they have that. Is it yoga ball? I don't know. Did you?
It's
did
like
it help?
A big exercise ball. I don't know. I just needed to pass the time, you know? They're like, this will feel good. I'm like, okay.
They just kept saying I could have popsicles, so I was just eating popsicles. That was like I watched Seinfeld when my daughter was born.
You
Seinfeld
lucky
was on.
duck. That sounds incredible. It sounds like a great day, actually.
It really wasn't so bad. So anyway, she's doing this. Everybody's kind of laying around. These
the sleep shifts.
Kill me.
Oh, don't you dare.
So we see Taya just like sprawled over a ball. Alicia's like texting on her phone. Sean has, I guess, a whole sheet over his head to sleep. You just see his little Q-tip head popping out. Then we find out we get like a Tyler cam in the car, and he says, everyone's trying to rest. Taya really needs rest. And we're all in it for a long night. So I'm going to rest for the night in the car. I was like, how tense is it in there that you're sleeping in the car?
I couldn't tell if this was like the smartest thing he could have done, or was he banished? Like, did he there's not a lot of room in those rooms. So I get it. If people were laying down, they're probably just straight up out of surfaces to be on. So I was like, I think the car is where I'd want to be too.
I agree, but it did feel more like a banishment.
I
was
agree.
Just like, we're all resting. And he's smiling.
He's like, right, that's a story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. And so we find out it's 10:40 the next day. The next thing we see. So she's been 24 hours in labor. She's not progressing. So they're going to do a C-section.
Right.
And so Sean has to tell us that, which I don't know why I wrote that. I think I was just annoyed that it was him giving us any pertinent information.
Yes.
So Taya tells everyone, I'm allowed to have everyone in the room with me, which I just thought, like, from a standpoint of too many people in here, I don't want everyone seeing my organs flopping out.
And, you have to scrub in for that. Like, I don't know. It does seem like too many people's germs, but
I know. I'm like, COVID was not that long ago, guys.
I know.
We've gone from nobody can be in the room to
the whole
bring
families.
your whole cule. Yes, absolutely.
Polycule's welcome.
Polycule's welcome. I think, though, that it was like probably morbid curiosity for the like anesthesiologist was probably like, absolutely, come in. I want to see how this is going to go down. Who cuts the umbilical cord?
Oh, well, we see who did.
I
Did you
actually
catch
don't
that?
remember. No.
This was actually pretty cool. Alicia did.
Oh, that was smart.
And I'm
that
like,
was smart.
Yeah. I'm like, power move. And also, yeah, because that would just be one more stupid thing on their list of resentments towards one another.
Absolutely.
Between Sean and Tyler.
Then they would have to sit next to each other on the couch and at dinner. So you can't have any more rules with this group. And so this baby's big, 9 pounds, 2 ounces. They say he's perfect. What was your biggest baby?
8'4".
Okay. I had an 8'12" and
Ooh.
a 7'1". Like total
Yeah,
opposites.
Mine got smaller, which is unusual too.
Yeah. No, mine went the other way. Mm-hmm.
That's normal. Yeah. I was 8'10". I was huge.
I was 9 something. I was a big baby. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. Fat and happy is how I like babies. So, you know.
Me too.
All
little
for
chunk.
The chubs.
For sure. Okay, so now we're at the house. Sean's holding baby Q, and he's saying on the couch, having this baby is the best feeling. And it is. Like, there's nothing like a newborn. Their little coo and like
their little warm sackness. Like, they're just like, they're like a
birds.
Yeah, and like a weighted, like a little
weighted blanket.
No, there's these things now that you can warm up, like a warmie. And it has like lavender in it. Yeah. You can put it on your tummy when you have cramps. Yeah. It's like a baby is that.
It is. Do not put your baby in the microwave.
Do not put lavender on them either, probably.
Oh my gosh. So Taya's saying, thrilled that the baby's here. Pregnancy was hard. Glad to be on the other side. And to that, all of us say amen.
Relatable. Yeah.
And Tyler's like in Q's face saying, I'm your dad, which I'm like, I don't know if we should... Like, is that what you want to do? Wouldn't you say, like, I'm one of your dads? I'm one of your dads. You're doing some mind tricks on him, Tyler.
Yeah, he's not doing himself any favors.
He's not. And I decided he has a face like an emoji. Like, the emoji that's like both kind of eyes to the side and one half smile. It's like a derp face. That's his face all the time.
Wait, do you mean the derp one that's like wavy and the cheeks are kind of, or it's a kind of. Like the mouth is a line and it's slightly diagonal.
And like the eyes are kind of going off where he's like darting around, not sure where to look.
Yeah.
That's him.
Okay, good. Yeah,
in real life. Yeah. Oh, and then they bring up that these babies, the 3 that they've had all together as a family, all have hyphenated last names, and they wanted them all to have hyphenated last names.
Yeah, which I get and think is cool. But what about Raina and...
I know.
The boy we always forget. The one who's not Raina. What about Raina and not Raina?
Yeah, Raina and not Raina. Like, that's what I thought too. I'm like, if we're going through all of this, why not change their names too? Because
it's just an addition. It's like not a... I don't know. Yeah, I'm worried about Raina.
It should be multiplied and not divided, for goodness sakes. If we learn anything from the Browns.
And also, polycule has a very mathematical sound. It's like a polygon. Like, they should understand about...
Doiky. I mean, that's true. It's an addition. Let's add on to this. And that was my whole thought though. Like, okay, cool, you're doing it with these younger ones, but the older ones, there's going to be some kind of feeling about that.
Yeah, there's an otherness, and I feel like as they get older, it'll become more.
Otherness is the exact word. Tyler's saying since they're under Oregon law, since Sean is the legal husband to Taya, he's automatically on the birth certificate.
Right.
So Tyler's name is not on there. He says, I'm a little jealous of Sean. It's not that I want his name off of it, but I want to add mine onto it. I feel like that's just getting too complicated to be like, who all do you want your dad to be? Let's write them all down. That's crazy.
And it's also like another point on the column of like, this is why paternity matters, because they keep saying it doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter to us. And I feel like every episode, there's like a few things that come up where they're like, well, we didn't realize this was an issue and this was an issue. I'm like, this is another one. Like, who's on the birth certificate has legal future.
Totally.
Not consequences, but repercussions. Like, it matters.
Totally. Yeah.
Anyway.
a lot.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I actually think paternity matters a lot to all of them.
Oh, they're
I actually think it's
obsessed with it.
very big
It's all
deal.
they talk about. It's all they talk about not caring about.
It's like a teenager and they don't care about something. It's the thing they care about the most in the
They're
world.
obsessed with the paternity of this child.
And
all of them.
honestly, as am I. So
Me too. I would just be honest about it.
totally. So we see Tyler and Sean in the kitchen. You can feel the tension even through the TV.
You cut it with a knife, but don't, please.
But Sean is close to the knives. He is doing the dishes, and he's asking how Tyler and Taya slept, and he's like, "Oh, not great, blah blah blah."
Up every
She got
hour.
a little bit of sleep, but Sean says it in a way where it's like, "You should have done more, bud. You should have made sure. I would have made sure Taya and my baby Q slept." Baby Q sounds like barbecue, and I can't unhear it every time we say it. I'm
Come
like,
over for a BBQ.
I mean, I would be down. And Tyler says, in one of the couch interviews, he and Sean still haven't figured out this whole Raina thing. So it's great that they've brought in a new child before they figured out the other problems.
Right, because there'll just be more time and, it'll become easier and easier to go back and address it.
I mean, exactly. And actually, it's funny enough you say that because they're on the couch and Sean's saying, within our polycule, having 4 of us means that no one person has to take on so much, with regards to the baby. Meanwhile, Taya's fighting with her life with her boob, trying to get this baby to eat. Poor thing.
I know. I was worried about Taya a little bit.
I was too. And because everyone's like, it's so easy because there's 4 of us. And I'm like, that baby's literally sucking the life out of her.
Uh-huh.
It might be a little harder
She's the
for
only
her.
one who can help when it's hungry, which is most of what they are at that
yeah.
point. So pipe down, everybody, about your
But also,
helpfulness.
so far.
So, right.
So you said. ...
Yeah.
So Sean is saying, though, since they switch nights, that he and Tyler really have to get their bonding time in with the baby Q when they can because, it's like cutting their time in half.
Yeah.
Kind of, but also not because they're always talking about addition. So Q isn't back to his birth weight. Like we said, he's having a hard time latching. And Taya's like, I really want to breastfeed, but I'll do what's best for my son, which I appreciate when people say that and not just like, I will die doing this breastfeeding and it's just not working for some people. And that's okay. Alicia says that, they're all like kind of in the kitchen and she's saying, I'll get the little boy's food ready and I can fold laundry. And basically she's like, I'm trying to find my spot in this. And that makes sense, right? She didn't have the baby. She can't be the father. We do know that. So these 2 doofuses can act like they're the dad and she's just kind of
being
floating around,
practical and doing things that are actually useful to a new mother.
100% having a woman there and saying, like, I will take care of these things and I'm going to, like, doing the grunt work. That's what we always say. Like, grunt work it's, to me, that's more important than a gift, anything like that.
Or paternity some days.
Paternity most. And Alicia says something that I didn't think about. She's like, the younger 2 boys both are more bonded to their biological mother, which makes sense because that's who's like nursing them, who's around them, all that. So her fear is, how will this baby be connected to me if I'm not nursing this baby? Be right back with that one. Producers asked Taya who she thinks the baby looks like, and she says she thinks the baby looks like her. Smart answer.
Right? I was like, well played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, you knew what you were doing there.
But wait, there's more.
So we see Alicia. She's looking at Raina and she's looking at Q and saying, oh, you can see he has a little calic here. Oh, Raina, you have a little calic here. Oh, your dad. He's got a little calic here. Isn't that funny? We have no idea who the father of this baby is. It doesn't matter.
Again, for people obsessed with it not mattering, they're highlighting like genetic similarities to one of the men.
It feels like they're
and
just
Tyler
doing
loved
an experiment. I loved it.
He was like,
loved it.
oh, so a cowlick is when? And he tells his kids like about your hair going in 2 directions. I mean, like he couldn't have been more excited to highlight this.
But my favorite is you just see Sean over there, bald as the day is long, not a cowlick to be seen in the world. And,
And yet he's cow obsessed. Again,
He's
we'll get there.
obsessed. Yes. And so that was just,
gosh.
I loved
It's
that
like,
edit. That was
Tell
great.
me your baby cues, Dad, without telling me your baby cues, Dad. It's like a game they're all playing.
It is. In the confessional, Tyler's saying, yeah, he has a calic. I have a calic. Big deal. He has dimples. I also have dimples. Also a big deal. Who cares? It's not my
He's a
baby.
big baby.
Wink,
Dark hair is
wink.
obviously going to be tall, dark, and handsome. I'm tall, dark, and handsome. I mean, I can't make the rules.
His eyes dart back and forth, and he has his crooked smile. I don't know who the dad is. Surprised. Sean is not happy about any of this. He's on the couch saying, some people look for similarities with Q and other people, but I don't care about paternity, so it doesn't matter to me.
And then folds his arms and is like I'm going to go pout in a corner.
He sounds like me when I'm mad at my husband, and I'm like, I don't care. And all I do is care. I care so much that I'm visibly shaking and angry over whatever situation it is. Lies we tell ourselves.
Yes.
So Tyler, and he says he and Tyler have enough to worry about without worrying about the paternity, even though it would be the easiest. You can get these tests at CVS now.
I know.
I don't even think they lock them up in New York. I think they're
Because
go ahead.
In this scenario, they're worrying about it in both directions.
Right.
Whereas if they knew definitively, there'd only be the one set of response to one of them being the dad. Right now, they have to kind of juggle both scenarios. It's just to alleviate some of the anxiety and conversations. You guys have a busy life. You got to clear some room on the deck.
Totally. I'm afraid that Sean is going to shave this baby's head and say, this one's bald.
That really just gave me the shivers.
He does have the razors.
No razors.
Mm-hmm. So
Southern charm.
I love it. Mm-hmm. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. We all have those moments where we feel like we're just juggling too much on our own, right? I mean, it doesn't take getting down to Jax Taylor levels of drama to realize it's time to ask for help. Even he knows that having a good, solid support system, whether it's friends, family, or even a therapist, makes all the difference. And let's be real, we all have our moments when we need that support. And I've seen firsthand how having a support system can really help make a difference. Therapy helps me unlock the tools I need to handle life's challenges, and it also empowers me to set boundaries, understand my emotions, and really be the best version of me. So whether you're dealing with everyday stress, personal growth, or anything in between, therapy can be a lifeline. And that's where BetterHelp comes in. It's fully online, so you can get therapy from the comfort of your own home, and it's super affordable. Plus, with over 30,000 therapists to choose from, you're bound to find someone who actually gets you. Whether you need help working through past experiences or you just want a safe space to talk, BetterHelp has a wide range of specialists available. And the best part, if you ever feel like it's not the right fit, you can switch therapists easily. No extra costs and no hassle. Whether you're already a fan of therapy or just curious, BetterHelp is here to make it easier for you to find the support you deserve. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/criminality today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/criminality. Today's episode is sponsored by Acorns, and I just got an email from Acorns today, just before recording this, and it was thrilling to see how much I've invested since I started using the Acorns app over a year ago now. And I learned that April is Financial Literacy Month. That's right, they made a whole month reminding you to finally take control of your money. And the good news is you don't need 30 days. Acorns makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future in just 5 minutes. Truly. The better news is you don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now, even if all you got is spare change. And that's what I do. I've told you guys this before, but I connected my debit card to my Acorns account, selected the round up to the nearest dollar option. So every time I make a purchase that I was already going to make anyway, that amount of money is invested and given a chance to grow by Acorns. You can do the same. Sign up now and join the over 14 million all-time customers who've already saved and invested over $25 billion with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/criminality or download the Acorns app to get started. Paid client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/criminality. So now we see cut to Tyler and Alicia shopping for the baby.
That store was cute.
It was adorable. Alicia's saying, Tyler loves shopping with her, and you see him putting on like baby hats and stuff, which I wasn't expecting that. And that was kind of funny.
Yeah, and holding up a sleeveless tank top with a hoodie. It was like a muscle shirt with a hoodie for a baby. And I'm like, Tyler would wear that. Like, he was having a lot of fun.
That's for baby Q. He loved it.
Yes.
His little baby.
That's for Tyler's mini-me.
It's so funny. And so they find magnetic clothes, which I was like, that's the smartest thing. But also I'm like, aren't we supposed to be scared that babies will swallow magnets? So then that's like a whole other thing.
I'm sure they're nicely fixed in there. I was more wishing the pattern was reversed, black with a white decoration as opposed to white with, and later on, I think for good reason.
Good reason, for sure. So then they're kind of talking between themselves and saying, hey, instead of having 50,000 people come to the house to see the baby, Tuesday and then Wednesday and then 2 people come on Thursday, why don't we do like a sip and see and have everyone come in one day, which is smart.
I agree.
It's just less annoying. I know everybody wants to see a baby, and there's only like so much time. There's so little that like you have to get in there,
Yes.
And so I can see doing that. Of course, the lady that owns the shop is being told, like, fed lines by the producer, like, who are you shopping for?
Uh-huh.
And instead of, like, what would you say in this situation? If you're Alicia, what is your answer? A friend?
Yeah, our really good friends just had a baby.
No, not Alicia.
No,
She
we're going to
said,
break it down.
We
TED
want
Talk.
to make, yes, TED Talk. She has
Talk.
like her laser pointer. She's like, let me show you. And so she says, well, we're actually a married couple. Okay. And we're in a relationship with another married couple. And so the owner says, cute.
Yeah.
Because what do you say? Like,
Yeah.
it sounds like you're wanting attention when you say something like that instead of just like, someone we know had
Our
a baby.
friends had a baby. Yeah.
And maybe it's his. We don't know. You want to see a picture? Look at the dimples.
If you had to guess.
Yeah. And then Alicia's like, we have 5 kids all together. And the lady was like, I just wanted to know if you were looking for a boy or girl. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to upsell you on something cute.
Exactly. So they ended up finding a matching outfit for Taya and the baby. And the boutique owners, they're asked about what you think about polyamory. And she says what everyone says on the show, which is like, I would be too jealous. I can't do this.
Right.
I just
good
think
for
it's
them.
more people to deal with. That's all I keep thinking is like, so instead of one person's feelings, I have to care about 3? No, thank you. Count them out.
This episode really solidified, not for me.
No, I could still, the polygamy thing, one husband, multiple wives, that makes more sense.
You get
to
nights
me.
off.
Absolutely.
We love a nights off.
I live in a place of nights off. So now we see Sean and Taya in the baby room. Sean is like, I don't really know how to put stuff. Like, they were just like slapping stuff on, like, you want to star here?
Really didn't care for this, as you can imagine.
I knew it was setting you off. But Sean's saying, I'm not really good at doing this decorations thing. He said, I got hands that are good for some things, which vomit.
Yeah. Also, we don't believe you based on future scenes.
No, based on anything, based on your personality, based on your dumb face when you come on the screen. But if it's more complex, that's a Tyler thing. And I was like, if I was Tyler, I would make a GIF of that, because I'd be like, well, I'm just going to use this for everything now.
Yeah.
See if my son is right-handed or left-handed or both. And he's still my kid. So anyway, he says basically, Taya's like, yeah, that's why I have a boyfriend. I'm like, if that's the only thing you've got for this, that this does not seem worth it for somebody to haphazardly throw things on your wall.
And this again is highlight that. Imagine you're the wife, and it could be any scenario of something you're not that good at, but you're trying to help, and your partner says, and that's why I have a girlfriend. I'd be like, go, you know what?
Exactly.
Like, this is the moment where I'm like, yeah, no.
Not for me. Not for me. So then we find out, though, that both men got vasectomies. I wish we could have seen the appointments, not any medical procedure.
Right.
But what went into that?
Right.
Do you think they had to hold hands at the same time and have it done at the same time so nobody would
they knew no one cheated?
Yeah. Sean was probably signing something on that, like, do his, not mine situation.
I forgot the vasectomy comment.
Oh, I'm glad.
Blocked it out.
I'm glad for kids that there aren't any more coming, because I think this is a complicated situation. Yeah.
I agree.
Taya lies and says that Sean is a baby whisperer and that he's a big old softy inside.
Okay.
Not seeing it. Sean asked Taya, like, hey, who's planning for the sip and see? What's the food? She's like, I don't know. Who's doing drinks? I don't really know. But then Taya says, Alicia's handling it, which of course, again, this is where that would come into play.
Yes.
Because the man would still be thinking Taya should be doing it. Or like,
right.
I thought you planned
You
it.
just had a baby. What are you doing for the sip and see?
You're sitting while you're nursing.
Yeah.
You don't think you can scroll on your phone a little? So anyway, she says, though, which was interesting, we learned that Taya and Alicia at first had a very similar relationship to Sean and Tyler, that it was a hard relationship and they had to kind of work through it and all that. That makes sense.
Yep.
Oh, baby Quentin poops a lot. That grunting.
But like 5 times. It was alarming. And that's why I made the comment about the white onesie.
Oh, yeah. It would have been. I was glad we didn't have to see it because we heard it and I was like, that did not stay.
It must
in the
have been
diaper.
picked up by her mic or something, but it was so loud.
And long. It just kept going. We
really
see Raina being asked, like, do you wish you had a sister?
Oh,
so cute.
yeah.
And her brother was sitting there. Again, name withheld. Not Raina. And she's like, I could have 1,000 brothers. I just wish I had a sister.
Just one sister. And I'm like,
blame her.
Come on.
Well, don't worry. Sean did not have a vasectomy. You could still have a sister.
Yeah, but is that the life we want for Raina?
No, we're the new baby, the fake baby I have in my head. So we see Alicia talking to the group and she's like, you know what? I want to be more included. I feel like I'm not as included. That's kind of what she said to us. I'm going to see a lactation consultant to see if I can breastfeed, which
I don't know how you feel about this. I'm here for this.
I think it's a great idea. Like that helps the other mom if it's possible. I didn't expect to hear that. I forgot that she hadn't stopped breastfeeding that long ago.
Right. I mean, when you've had a baby and your youngest or your kid, your baby's like a toddler, like you could still have a tiny bit of milk production.
You could.
I was surprised for how long I could dribble.
Unsettling amount of time.
Yeah.
That you hear a baby cry and you think, well, thanks a lot.
if needed. And I think it was a lot more common to have, a wet nurse or whatever.
Yeah.
And takes a village kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
This is the upside to me. And I thought it was cool of her to offer.
Yeah.
And cool of Taya to be open. Because I think she was like, I'm dying over here.
Yeah, for sure. But of course, Sean, that's not Sean's thing. He can't have 2 lactating women in this house.
Yeah. And
What's
this is
he gonna
where,
do?
like, I guess the paternity, I don't know. I'm just like, you don't get a say in this. Dad or no dad. Like, just, this is between the women feeding the baby.
I know. It just didn't make any sense. I think I was just shocked because it was just like, it felt producer driven, but it's like such a big decision. I know it's not producer driven.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just kind of came up and you're like, huh?
Right,
like I just wasn't expecting it. But like I know on Sister Wives, I know at one point Mary has to do that with baby Maddie because she was failing to thrive. So like you can see where that's helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
My sister had so much supply that she like donated to tons of babies. Like
that's incredible.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because Alicia's whole thing is really like, I could bond with a baby more. And of course I can help Taya, which woman to woman.
No one else is stepping up to do.
No. And so Sean's like, oh, really? You can't just play on the ground with the baby?
Like, no, you monster.
Why is that anyone's number one guy? I don't understand how he's in this. I feel like Tyler, unfortunately, is the catch here. And
oh, no, for sure. He's made his role known, like what he's there for and why he's kept around. Like Sean, I'm still waiting. Maybe he makes the most money.
Ugh, Sean just like sachets everywhere he goes, and I just don't want to see it. And so anyway, Alicia's like, are you trying to talk me out of the situation? And he's like, no, of course not, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you kind of are, bud. And Tyler was on board with it too, who is the biological father of Quentin, 100% just looking at the kid and hearing about the calic. So anyway, that's kind of where I left off.
Yeah, exactly. So we now pick up at the sip and see, and like you said, Alicia had the idea that let's just have everyone over for like 1 few hour window, and that way we can get it over with and then kind of resume life as normal, which we love that. So they're putting out mimosas and a charcuterie, and I gotta say that charcuterie board was impressive.
Can I tell you, I missed it. I don't know what I was doing. Like, I don't know if I was still taking notes or what, but like, I saw the mimosa. That was it.
I was hungry, so maybe that's why. But I was like, I don't know. Sometimes they look sad. That one looked
Sometimes they look like moist. I don't know how else to say it. You know what I mean? Like the cheese looks wet. No,
yeah, gross. Mm-hmm. No, this was someone took care with this.
Good, Alicia.
And Taya is getting like hair and makeup done by like a friend or a stylist or something, and I'm like, where is she getting this energy? Like, even just the filming of the show, I'm like, how are they doing this? Like with the newborn, I don't know. I was exhausted just looking at food being prepared and like people coming over and needing your house to be cleaned and having this infant.
Right. But also Alicia's there to help her. And
true.
Screw those other two. But I also think she's younger. Like she is in her 20s.
Right. Because her grandpa's there and he's like pretty able-bodied and like very with it. I mean,
mom is her sister. I think it's one of those situations no one's just told her yet. Like, by the way, your mom had you a little young and also she's your sister. Right. She was raised as your sister.
That's true. Her family, she is young and therefore her family's young. And that's a big part of this episode. It's like whose family's there and who's not. So we learned that Taya's mom, like you said, and grandparents are there and they are fully on board. Tyler has a sister there. Sean has friends. Did I get that right?
I know he has a friend from work for sure. And Tyler's sister's there. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then Alicia has some cousins, but missing is Sean's family, but wasn't it Tyler's?
Tyler's mom was there and then she left. Sean, we heard last week that most of them are not living.
Oh, right. So I think I meant Tyler's because we learned that basically his mom is tolerant of the lifestyle, but won't publicly support it. And so being on camera for this scene would kind of be that. And he's, it's disappointing to him. And so speaking of the grandparents, Taya has this moment with her grandpa and he's like, so do you think you'll have 3 or 4 more? And she was like, mimosas? He was like, no, little kids. And she's like, oh no, we're done.
And I'm sure they're tired of babysitting every time these people have to go to the hospital for a new one.
No kidding. They're young, but they're not getting younger. Right. So we learned that Taya came out as poly to her family and that their original thought about it was that they hoped it was a phase. But now they realized that it is not. And so they're really supportive and they consider Sean and Alicia and all 5 of the kids and Tyler, of course, like everyone's family. And they really have embraced them and they kind of celebrate it.
Yeah.
Tyler says he has his sister's support. We meet her. She brings her boyfriend. Her name is Kelsey. And she's worried about the dynamic in the family because she said it became normal to her very quickly, but her mom just like hasn't gotten there. And that's the word she used that I mentioned before, is that she tolerates it. And they're talking about that in the kitchen. And I thought Alicia was incredibly gracious. And she's like, look, she chose kindness, which is all we can ask for. Like, she's being kind about it. She has a boundary. She said it. Wish it was different.
Grateful for that. Yeah.
She's not being mean-spirited or cruel or pushing them away. And I thought that's quite, generous.
Totally.
And Alicia's growing on me is what I'm going to say.
Me too. I thought she actually looked very beautiful in this episode too.
I agree with you.
I think it was something with her personality. It's definitely growing on me and where I was like, I kind of like you, girl.
Yeah, she seems mature and like considerate of others and maybe like mature in a way that I don't see in the other 3.
Yeah.
Then I just wrote Quentin is so cute and he really is a really cute baby. And so then Sean has a coworker over, a friend named Hannah, and she's just sitting on the couch next to Taya and she's like, so whose baby is it? Who's the dad? And Taya's like, well, in the confessional, she's like, that's really bold, but I kind of respect it. Like it's better than whispering it around us or acting a certain way, but then gossiping about it and it getting back to them. She kind of respected that she just boldly asked. And $1,000,000, tell me what Taya's response was about the baby, whose dad it is, Melissa.
We don't care.
The lies. The lies. So she perpetuates the lie that none of them care. And then Hannah's like, cool, that's so cool. But then she's getting interviewed by the producer and she's like, this is weird. Like, how could you not want to know who the dad is? I'm like, okay, Hannah, like, you're not even related to this family. Like,
she started off strong with like being so bold. And then she's like, get me out of here. I don't know why I agreed to this. Can I take back my signature on my
She really
release?
Turned on a dime. It was so interesting. Then the cowlick comes up again. And they basically call back to the cowlick and want now everyone in the room in their lives to know that both the baby and Tyler have a cowlick, as does Raina, who is also biologically Tyler's.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, once again, I feel like we are caring about
quite a bit
who the dad is. Oh, but back to Hannah, now they're debriefing on what Hannah did by asking, and Alicia and Taya ask Sean, who is the friend that he's who brought her, does she know about our dynamic? Like, she just sat down and asked, and he's like, she's my work friend. Like, it doesn't, like, she knows what our situation is, but we don't go into detail about the dynamic, which I'm going to say, yes, that makes sense that she shouldn't know all the details.
Please, no. Also, Taya said, does she not follow us on on TikTok?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Because they apparently were very big on TikTok. They've never come up on my algorithm, unfortunately.
Shocks me, but
I know. It's too busy with,
but makes sense how they got a show.
Yeah, that's exactly
really
how.
Interesting. Isn't it perfect that you got that and I didn't, because you are on TikTok and I'm not? I mean, it's like I'm still
trying to force it.
Didn't even register it.
Yeah.
So Alicia's talking about how Sean and Tyler still aren't on the best of terms from other things. And now Taya's worried that people are speculating about the paternity of the kids, and that if there's chatter about it, especially with Sean's coworker, because Sean does seem to be a bit sensitive to this.
Yeah. It's
going to drive an even bigger wedge between them that already exists. So I don't know, the sip and see, I guess, ends because now my notes say that Alicia comes to talk to them about her consultation with the lactation consultant. Did anything happen in the scene that I'm forgetting? There was no tight ending, right?
No, there's never a tight ending. Nobody's like says goodbye. She's just like, I've got pumps.
Right.
And that's about it.
All of a sudden, Alicia's there and she's like, I got a pump every 2 to 3 hours for 15 minutes. And I thought, man, this really is such a commitment.
It is.
I forgot about breast pumping and on top of breastfeeding. Like, she really must want to do this. And she also says that the consultant told her that, massaging her breasts would help, and says, I can only do one at a time. Now she's in bed with Sean. And I regret having to say those words, but I'm just setting the scene and recapping a show. That is what happened. And she's like, you could do the other. And he's like, I could. And she's like, well, I don't actually want you to help if you don't want to help, which is so relatable.
He is just,
but he's the worst. And he's like, no, it's just, and he keeps just saying, it's weird to me. This is weird. This is weird.
It's weird. We don't know who this baby's dad is.
It's so much weirder than her trying to help Taya breastfeed. And so he's like, is it like milking a cow? Do I start from the top and work down? And
your face.
Melissa. And again, this is great because, wait, is Taya in the room at this point?
No.
No, it's just Alicia. And she's like, I'm going to need you to stop doing that motion, because he's like, is it like a cow? And he makes this utter milking motion and it's like, stop. And so he's just acting so immature, skeeved out, like he hasn't been married and hasn't seen a woman have a baby, has breasts, milk, like touches her boob, says it's squishy. Like,
I would have punched him there.
Helpful. And she's like, yeah, I've had a baby. Like, they are. Like, she was so patient. And I was just like, dude, this guy is just more trouble than he's worth. He's not adding. He's not adding. He's not contributing.
Yeah.
I really believe he must make the most money. So meanwhile, Taya and Tyler return from the doctor appointment. Interesting that they go, I guess.
I know.
Why didn't maybe Sean was at work or learning how to
needed the biological father there for that appointment or something.
Well, essentially, that's what happened. So we learned that fortunately, Quentin is doing well. He's gained the weight back. He's meeting all the milestones. He's good.
Great.
So that's a huge relief. Then Taya is in the kitchen and gets a text from Sean. And it says, I guess we know who the dad is. Which is
such an eye roll.
One way to deliver that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so Taya's like, oh boy, what's going on? And so the producer's like, how would he know? And then we learn that Tyler from the doctor's office had sent a text to the group chat. So that must be all 4 of them, which I wouldn't mind a peek at that for like 5 minutes.
I would love it.
I would love it. Just a quick scroll and like.
I'd much rather look at that, I think, than the boys chat on the Valley. Like that, I think I would cry and throw up in that one.
That would keep me from ever engaging with men again, I'm pretty sure, that text thread.
Mhm.
So we learned that Tyler was just reporting from the doctor's office that Quentin was good. Here's how much he weighs, percentile, weight. You always
Right.
do that from those
Yeah, you have
appointments.
those pictures.
Blood type, because these are all the things they learn at the appointment, which I guess none of them realized would point to the paternity of the child, which I'm going to be honest, I didn't either. I guess I figured a blood test would be part of it, but I thought more genetics. But I guess where do they learn your genetics but through your blood?
Right. But also, like, I don't remember blood type being on anything I got from the hospital or from the doctor's office to send. You know what I mean? I just don't
But
remember
maybe
seeing.
in 2025 it's different.
Maybe, that's true.
Okay, so then we learn that he reports that the baby's O negative. And Sean says that he sees this and is like, well, Tyler's O negative, so that's that. Time out. Why does he know Tyler's blood type? I don't know mine.
I know I was about to be very embarrassed, but I was going to say,
Me
I don't
too.
know mine.
I have been meaning to ask my primary. Like, I'm going to go in my portal today and be like, Dr. S, what's my blood type? That feels like something I should know. I don't know my kids.
No, I don't know
And
anyone's.
I should. We should know our kids' blood types.
They know their partner's partner.
Well, Sean knows
The-
Tyler's. I suspect he's psychotic, and that's like maybe he knows
True.
everyone's.
Yeah.
But that just really shook me. So, okay, I'm glad we both don't know ours. I feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
But he then does a Google, and it's like, oh, it would be impossible for an O negative. I don't know what he says, but basically, whatever his type is,
Right.
he couldn't have an O negative baby. So it eliminates him as a suspect.
But that's on his own dang fault. If you didn't want to find out, you would take that information and not Google it. But
Well,
if you Google it, you wanted to find out.
But if you got that information and you knew
Yeah.
it could connect to genetics, I would have had to Google too.
I just don't like him.
Taya was like, I got to talk to Tyler and see if he was trying to like start stuff. And of course, Tyler says, I didn't realize blood type could indicate paternity.
Right.
He was just trying to be like the team player dad who's like, hey, here's all the stats from the doctor's appointment, making sure they felt included. So now they're trying to figure out how to handle it. And Taya's like, you know what? I don't think you should bring this up. Like,
Yeah.
he's in his feelings about the possibilities.
Right.
And you have the unresolved issue about Raina from weeks ago. This is too much.
Right.
And so then Tyler's talking to the camera and he's like, I'm pretty happy to know that I'm the dad. He's like, but it's totally overshadowed by being so upset that Sean's upset. And I'm like, Tyler, I like you, but be for real.
That kid thing is he's kind of like, who, me?
Yeah, he's
About
playing
everything.
the nice guy. And I
Mhm.
think he's feeling like the virile alpha that
100%.
he is in this scenario. Let's be real,
he's got
right?
one over on Sean.
Yes.
And we don't know who the other baby's dads are. So he could actually be the father, potentially, of all of these kids, right?
Or just Quentin,
Yeah, true.
right? Wait.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, no, Raina and not
well, no, I
Raina.
mean of the three that they
Right.
share.
Yeah.
Sean could theoretically have paternity on both of those.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
Which I can't believe he's not now demanding to find out. Anyway, okay. So now Tyler says that nonsense and is like, now we have this issue piled on top of the old one, and I don't know how to move forward. And he's sounding a little bit like a housewife, like, how are we going to move forward?
Right.
So now we're at a dodgeball event, and I'm like, you guys, why are we doing a dodgeball event? We've got 2 big kids, 2 tiny kids, an infant and a postpartum mom, and
It
2
made no sense.
large males. Like,
I know.
and then they get to this venue and we find out it's like against other families.
I know. It was like 2 other people that were there. I'm like,
It-
I hate signing up for things and
So-
then going there and you're like,
Other people.
it? Yeah.
I know. So weird. And there is this other couple and they're doing their thing where they're like, we're all
Mhm.
families. We're married and they're married and that's my boyfriend and she's my girlfriend. And this couple's like, cool. Okay.
yeah.
And then the producer asks the wife, could you do this? And she's like, no, it's really cool for them. It's interesting. You don't see that a lot around here. But
Cute.
not for me. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the husband or her partner is like, yeah, no. He's like, never. He's like, that's like having 2 TVs on at once. Way too distracting. And I was like, I love this guy.
It's true.
It was a good
yeah.
analogy.
Yeah.
Then they start playing dodgeball with full force. And the producer asks Raina, like, who of the 2 dads are the most competitive? And she's like, they kind of are both very competitive. And then you see them playing and you're like, yeah. They're playing to win. Sean is not messing around. He pegs Tyler.
He did.
I mean, I'm sure he was aiming for lower to prevent any future. Oh, they've had vasectomies. I guess it's a non-issue.
Probably
or did they?
Not Sean. Yes.
Or a Dateline episode.
There you go.
And then Tyler's wearing this T-shirt and it's tie-dyed and it says Dada on it, made to look like a band
AC/DC.
name. Yeah, AC. Yeah, thank you. Like a metal. And Sean's like, he's wearing his Dada shirt. That normally doesn't bother me, but right now it feels like it's just adding salt in the womb.
Oh my God.
Freudian slip. Wound. I just heard the most fascinating episode on revisionist history with Malcolm Gladwell about Freudian slips. Leave this in.
Really?
People should go listen to it. It's actually called parapraxis, and they're not accidents. They're like, they reveal your fear. And I just said womb. So I'm like, well, what the heck is my fear?
Yeah. Oh no, that's not good for me. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do that today.
It's really fascinating. So then Sean's pouting in this little playroom where the two toddlers have gone to play. There's like a room. Thank God they're not putting the toddlers in the dodgeball game, which honestly I expected because this family is unpredictable. So he's like, I just want to watch the little boys. And so Alicia's like, hey, what are you doing? Come play. And he's like, I'm watching the kids. She's like, they're fine in here. And he's like, they're fine because I'm watching them. And I'm like, okay, you weren't watching them like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, and what are you doing? Probably putting them in timeout for saying
they're grounded
to their dad in their other room. Yeah,
they're grounded. You're like, you've got the wrong dad. You're grounded.
Yeah.
So then it's like it's bedtime, and he doesn't just storm out because he's mad. I guess it was arranged that one of them had to go take the babies home, and he offered to do it because he's angry. He's mad. At Tyler, and he takes the babies, puts them in the van, and is like, I'll go put them to bed.
Do you remember on Veep whenever Selena is talking that one time and she wears these new shoes and Gary has her and she squeaks the whole way? In my head, that's how I heard him walking out of there.
Just sneakers.
Like,
yeah.
Yes.
That's good. I wish we got that sound effect. So we hear that Tyler feels bad, and then Taya and Alicia are having like a little chat themselves, and Alicia's like, Taya, what is going on with Sean? And we find out that Alicia's like, I never get what Sean's feeling directly from him. I always find out through Taya or Tyler. I'm like, well, that's not healthy.
Right. And then Tyler doesn't actually get it from Sean. He gets it from Taya. So it's literally telephone. Like, this does not seem healthy.
No. And for this couple that has all these like rules and intentionality, it seems again like they're really missing the plot.
Yes.
So Taya's like, well, here's the text story. I got this text. And then this all happened. And so now Alicia's like, wait, I didn't know this and everyone else knew this and I'm the last to know. And she gets over that pretty quickly, which I give her credit for. I would have felt really mad that everyone knew that happened but me.
Yeah. Alicia's the Mary Brown of the situation.
She is. She is always the last to know and last on the list.
Always.
And if multiple properties become involved, she's going to get
Smallest
screwed.
part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So the episode's winding down. Now they're all dealing with this issue, and I forget who says it. Oh yeah, Taya says it. She's like, we are in uncharted territory. Like, we've never really had to specifically address the potential paternity, and I don't know if we'll ever be able to come back from this. Bum, bum, bum. Next time on PolyFamily, I learned there's something called a yacht tub.
I had no idea. And
you live in Florida. I would think a yacht tub would have been in your purview.
Too fancy.
I'm not mad at a yacht tub. Do I want to see those 4-in-1? No. Do I need to find one in the tri-state area? Absolutely. So they're all in there. And we hear that Taya feels very fulfilled in her life. The only thing missing is a romantic connection with a woman. And then I wrote the guys have another blood type conversation. Did they have a talk about it? Or was that on next time? I think that's a next time because it must be. So, Melissa, I'm hooked.
I know. They've given us so much in 2 episodes. It took Sister Wives about 14 seasons for us to get this far.
There is not a lot of paint drying moments in this. Like, we're really pushing through the issues at a rapid pace. They're not great at transitional scenes.
Terrible.
They're a little finessing would be good, but it's no frills. You're in and out in your 1 hour watching time, and makes note taking fairly easy. And I enjoyed it.
Me too. They're in and out like Tyler and Sean every night.
But nice one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Can't wait for the next one. This and the Valley are really keeping me going.
Yeah, the Valley is something else. We might have to do an episode on that because there is a lot there.
You need to watch the after shows. If you're not watching the after shows, they're so good.
Really? Is that on Peacock or?
Yep, it comes on as well. It's like this one was like 25 minutes, but it really does talk about so much. I'll give you mine. It's so much nonsense. It's just like fun, but like some behind the scenes stuff that we don't get to hear. I think it's just as important as a show.
I think Nia's one of the most beautiful women on TV.
Absolutely. She's like an angel too.
She is an angel. Her voice and just, her presence seems very calming.
Calming. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a scene from last night, sorry, I know we're not recapping this, but where Zach is crying and he calls for Nia just to be present near her and hold her hand.
Yeah.
And she comes over and she picks his hand up. He didn't ask her to. Like, she just knew that's what he needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is an angel. And just, I can't take my eyes off her without a stitch of makeup on. And with sweats, she is just as cute. Like,
I know.
I mean, all the women on that show are very pretty, but she just really has. She really
has
something.
Spirit about her.
Yes, I agree.
Special.
It's her aura and her essence. But have you watched anything else besides The Valley and PolyFamily?
I actually have. I'm not going to give. Do you want clues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why? No, just tell me.
Okay. Oh, I know. Never mind. I don't think I've done this one yet this season. The Rehearsal is back on Max. You have to watch this season.
Okay.
This season is so good.
Okay.
Again, this is Nathan Fielder, who everyone loves him now, and I've loved him for years, and I've been the weirdo. I'm always ahead on these things, and I will take that to my grave.
I will give that to you. It's so true.
Finger, pulse, every time.
It's so true.
Sometimes I'm wrong. But anyway, this season, I was so shocked when I saw the first preview. It was like about airline disasters. And I'm like, how the heck?
Oh, no.
It's all about how he's trying to rehearse things so these things don't happen, and kind of going through like, I didn't know this, but the most times there are airplane disasters, it's when there's been a miscommunication or the co-pilot is telling the pilot, I don't think that's right. We need to do this. And the pilot won't listen to them.
What?
Or there's miscommunication there. That truly, like everything you can think of.
I don't want to know that.
But I think it's great because they're trying, like, he's working with this aviation guy who's been wanting to get more training. Like, I didn't know when pilots go on board, they've never even met the freaking co-pilot. They might be meeting inside the cockpit. Like, if you can't trust somebody and, have
some established rapport, that feels essential.
Yeah. And so the whole thing is like how, it's done in a Nathan Fielder way. And
sure.
It's great. It's not the funniest stuff ever, but it's so out of the box. And somebody on Reddit figured out that Nathan actually got his commercial pilot's license. So who knows where this is going to go? He's such a crazy man. It's fascinating.
What's his other show? Like,
don't watch it. The Curse. Do not watch it.
No, not that.
Okay.
The first one.
Oh, Nathan
the one
for
with
you.
him. Nathan for you. I just watched one. The pizza one. No, it wasn't the pizza one. It's a small business one where he goes in to tell small businesses what they need to do to make more money.
Mm-hmm. That's like great. The whole plot on that one.
Oh, and is that the whole season? I just saw one episode.
But there's a season. My favorite one, if you ever want to watch one, is the gas station one. That is my absolute favorite one, about getting a rebate for a gas station. But they're all amazing. But anyway, this season laughing. Is great. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds really fun. Well, I have a fun one for you that I think if you haven't already watched, you will like.
Okay.
And I'm not going to do clues because we didn't do that. So it's. I think I'm calling it White Lotus Light. It's
4 seasons.
It's the 4 seasons.
Yay!
You're watching?
No, but I want to. I haven't started it yet. So good.
Tina Fey, Steve Carell,
Will Forte,
Coleman Domingo, and I can't think of her name, but the one that plays the girlfriend of Steve Carell, Erica Henningsen. It is so good, just start to finish.
Really?
Just watch it.
I'm so excited.
It's for the middle-aged, which is why it resonated. It is a Gen X show, but I will tell you, I walked into my son's room to chat with him the other day. He's 20, and it was on.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like...
Did it just autoplay?
No, he's like, no, my friends and I started it. And I was like...
He's so cool.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
but encouraged.
Yeah, for sure.
It's great. Just watch it.
I love it. I'm so excited. Like, who do I love more than Steve Carell and Tina Fey? No one besides Amy Poehler.
They're just so good.
And this is her first starring thing since 30 Rock, which I didn't even think about that. She's like on as little bits on different things, but this is the first one she's been like a lead in since 30 Rock.
Yeah, that's true. And she just should be on camera. She's so dang good.
I know.
You know, some
She's
writers
so
don't make the acting transition and some actors don't write. Like, she just nails everything.
She really does.
Her dialogue is so good. The acting is just unreal. It's so real. It's so, also the depictions of marriage. 3 couples go on they're like college friends and they go on trips. And so there are 2 episodes per season of the year. So it goes from spring, summer, fall to winter.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a really great concept. And the way it ends, I will say nothing except that it feels very set up for a season 2. And I wouldn't be surprised if there is one. But it's
8 episodes?
Yeah.
Okay.
8. They move so fast. I mean, I think I watched it on the weekend over 2 days. Oh, just the friendship dynamic and the marriage dynamics I found to be some of the more accurate ones you see on shows, like very well depicted. Yeah, so lots of good TV.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. Mother's Day's this weekend. Happy Mother's Day.
To you as well, and to all the moms listening.
Yes, absolutely. So I might take that as like the thing I want to do on Mother's Day is watch 4 Seasons. That sounds great.
Yes, and you. Why don't you go to the 4 Seasons and watch the 4 Seasons?
Yeah, I have.
Or like a Marriott Courtyard.
Points.
Yeah. A Garden Inn.
Yeah, that might be more like it.
Yeah, yeah. But for real,
I
endorse that message. All right, well, this was super fun, and let's watch again next week and see what happens.
Yeah, let us know if you're enjoying this, if you're watching this.
Yeah, DM us on Instagram. Yeah, it would be good to know. We're going to also run a little poll and formally ask for your opinion if we haven't already. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Are you feeling stuck in your career or lacking employment at the moment? Experiencing symptoms of job dissatisfaction? You might be suffering from a common condition known as career stagnation. But don't worry, there's a solution. Monster.com. Monster.com offers a comprehensive suite of career-boosting tools designed just for you. Our free resume review and AI interview prep tool will help you stand out from the crowd. Need more guidance? Dive into our career advice articles for expert tips and insights. And don't forget to check out our salary tools to ensure you're getting paid what you're worth. Side effects may include a new job, increased confidence, and a brighter future. Consult Monster.com today and take the first step towards your new career. Ready for your next job opportunity? Visit Monster.com now.